Let's move on to story number 5, reported by roadtovr.com. And I know that you're a video game guy, so wait till you hear this, or at least you like video games. The creator of the original Oculus Rift virtual reality headset, guy's name is Palmer Luckey. He has come up with a modified version that's gotten him some attention. And so my question for you is, what is so unique about this modified virtual reality headset that got Mr. Luckey some attention?
Yeah, because the Oculus, that's the thing where it has the two controllers with it. And it's like VR.
That's right.
Um, I don't know. The closest I can think of. I hope he didn't. Is he bringing back Smell-O-Vision?
That's a good answer. That's a good answer. No, so when you die in the game, you die in real life. We have a
Whoa,
picture of
whoa,
the
whoa,
headset.
whoa,
Put
whoa.
it up, Joel. There. Now, Joel, leave that up for a minute so I can explain it. That is the modified headset. He said it was inspired by the anime called Sword Art Online, where the gamers that wore a headset, unbeknownst to them, they would die in real life if they died in the virtual world. That's what happened in the anime. Palmer Luckey's modified headset that you see right there, it's got 3 explosive charge modules that will fire and destroy the brain of the user when the appropriate game over screen is displayed. And here's the scariest part. He says that it's just a piece of office art right now. That's all it is. It's like a prop, but he seems interested in pursuing the idea further. And so my question is, why? Why? Does the world need this? Do we need a VR headset like this?
We do not need this because
No.
you're always eventually going to lose. So why would you want
Yes.
this?
Yes.
No, I don't need it.
Like I was trying to think, is there any? The only thing I could possibly think of is maybe if it's like a serial killer that admits to his crimes or something, and you put like 3 of them in the room, and they got to have a VR tournament or something. Otherwise, I don't know, man. What I don't understand.
Uh,
But this is what he came up with.
Maybe they're gonna do some weird like esport tournament to the death or something. I don't know.
There's no amount of money, right? There's no
No.
amount of money. I mean, this is basically Squid Game on virtual reality, kind of, you know? So let me ask you. So you hear a lot now about the metaverse, right? If you could be whoever you wanted to be, and if you could do whatever you wanted to do in the metaverse, who would you be and what would you do?
If I could be anybody in the metaverse, I think that no, because I was gonna say I think at probably would be cool to be president, but who wants to be president? Who wants actual control and like all of the criticism that comes with being president?
Uh
And I
huh.
certainly wouldn't want to be like, yeah, I'm Joe Biden for a week. What a weird experience.
I wouldn't even want to be him for a day.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think it probably that's probably the closest I can get. Just be president, just to see what the experience of it is. But yeah,
Fascinating, fascinating. So basically, anywhere in the game that you would go, the Secret Service would have to show up like 2 days before.
yeah.
That's basically what they do. You know, interesting. All right, it is time for story number 1, final story of the week. I always leave a unique one for last, and so that's what I got for you. This is reported by the Mirror. So there's an 86-year-old man in England. His name is Stuart Haywood. He is looking to rent out people's gardens. He doesn't want to rent their house. He wants to rent their garden. My question for you, Phil Lindsey, why is Mr. Haywood wanting to rent out people's gardens?
Uh, Good reason. I'm gonna go with photography. That makes sense.
So he wants to strip down and frolic around naked in seclusion. And we got pics of Mr. Haywood, censored ones. There he is. So he is a nudist. He's an 86-year-old nudist. He used to go with his wife to a nudist resort for 2 weeks a year, but as they've gotten older, they're finding it harder to make the journey. So they want to find somewhere close to home where he can continue to carry out his hobby. It's not a sexual thing, it's just a lifestyle choice for him. What do you think? If you had a place for rent, and if Stuart Haywood hit you up and he wanted to rent out your garden so he could go strip down a couple days a week, how would you feel about that? Would that be something you'd consider?
I'm not at home for any of this. I don't need to see it. I don't want to be any part of it. It's not like we're gonna have like garden furniture out there that he's gonna sit on.
Right.
Cool. If it's just him having this this release, whatever this pleasurable release is of him running around naked in the garden.
Yeah, it's not sexual. Because he made it clear in the story.
Uh,
It's not sexual.
Go for it, buddy. I don't need to see anything of it. I don't. Yeah, sure. Money is money, but I don't want anything to do with it after.
So if you ever had a place for rent, you get an email. He's like, hey, I only need it 2 days a week. Just 2 days a week. But he tells you why. You're like, yeah, I think I'm good. I think I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, I just have to make sure those 2 days I'm never at home. I don't know anybody that's coming to my house for any reason.
Right. No security cameras. No security cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So my final question for you, do you have any personal stories? They can either be related to yourself or related to somebody you know. Do you have any personal stories where someone accidentally exposed themselves to somebody else?
Accidentally exposed themselves.
Forgot to lock the door, maybe, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think we've all had an incident where forgot to lock a bathroom door or something, and somebody came walking in or something. I do think one of the funniest that I've heard is my friend walking around her apartment naked, and the guy, they're doing construction either below her apartment or around the apartment, and she's just like randomly walking around, and so she like walks up to a window with like a toothbrush hanging out her mouth and everything, and she looks out a window, and it's just a construction worker just right at the window looking right at her apartment, and she's just like, oh my god, what?
That's almost a Seinfeld episode. There was a Seinfeld episode where there was a woman across the street on the same level as Seinfeld, so every time they looked out the window, that's all you saw, basically. How did that story end with your friend?
No, I think she was just embarrassed to just close the curtain.
Hell, at least that's where it's ended, because the society today, you never know. So that's a positive.
Roses are red, violets are blue. I click the subscribe button. You really should too. If you like videos about real news stories that are funny, stupid, or weird, subscribe now.